Cost, volume, profit, part 5, I think. I may have lost track. We just put a targeted net income into our formulas. This is assuming a pre-tax situation. So those numbers that work in the formulas are pre-tax net income. If you know what you want your very bottom line to be after taxes, so your after-tax net income, you can divide by 1 minus the tax rate to get the dollars that you need to plug into the formula to determine how many units to sell or how many sales dollars you must have. Let's do an example. If my desired after-tax net income is $75,000 and my corporate tax rate is 25%, I'm going to say pre-tax, I need to earn 75 divided by 1 minus 0.25, which is 75,000 over 75%, or my pre-tax net income needs to be $100,000, and that's what I need to generate from unit sales in order to have after-tax net income of 75,000. Your book also talks about a multi-product break-even point. Many of our companies don't just sell one item, so they might know in proportion how many items do they sell in relation to others. There's an example in your book that talks about windows and doors. So when we have more than one product, we have to make some assumptions. Remember, we're still estimating and playing what if we sell our product in these particular ratios, what will happen to our profit, what will happen to our cost, what will happen to our volume. With multi-product break-even point, we assume our sales mix is known. 2 doors to 8 windows. I think that was the example in the book. And that mix remains constant. We're assuming that. It's an assumption, but remember, we're using this to estimate, so it's okay to make an assumption. So we express our sales as a ratio and get composite units. We put all of our product together in a bundle and get what we call a composite unit. A composite unit's a bundle. And then we calculate our break-even point for the composite unit. Let me give you an example. Before John was in his current line of work, he used to work for Rubbermaid, and they sold what we called the mop combo pack. So in every mop combo pack, there was 1 mop bucket. You've seen a yellow Rubbermaid mop bucket, 2 mop handles, and 4 mop heads. And they were shrink wrapped together so that they were sold in combination. So you can think of that proportion as 1 bucket to 2 mop handles to 4 mop heads. So we would get the selling price for the bundle. I think I have to adjust. So we would get the selling price for the bundle. We would get the variable cost for the bundle. We would subtract variable cost from our selling price and get a contribution margin for the whole bundle, for the mop, for the handles, for the mop heads, and for the bucket. Everything together, what's our contribution margin? Then we would take our fixed cost and divide by that composite contribution margin to determine how many bundles do we have to sell to break even? How many shrink-wrapped mop bundles must we sell to break even? There are a few final assumptions in this chapter. We're estimating. Remember that. We're using the past to predict the future. So these are all estimates anyway. We apply cost, volume, profit to our relevant range. And any errors that we might make on one side can be compensated for by deviations on the other side. In other words, we're looking at the whole big picture together, and if we're a little over here, we may be a little under to help compensate for that. Also, when we give a presentation after we have done cost, volume, profit analysis, we're going to give some options. We may give a range of options and say this is our most optimistic, this is our most pessimistic, and this one in the middle is most likely of what's to happen. So that instead of just giving one number, we give a range with a high and a low and a most likely. Thank you for bearing with me during this video presentation today. This is my first one. I hope to get better. But just so you'll know, I have brought my music stand from home. It's got my iPhone on it. There's still no one in the room. It's hard to tell a joke when you aren't here. I still feel like a stalking fool, but hopefully this is going to come out and you will learn something about chapter 18. I hope you were happy at home. I hope your parents aren't driving you crazy. I hope you aren't driving your parents crazy. Have a great day. Wash your hands and do your homework. I'll see you tomorrow.